Tonight at 6, inflation's impact on food banks. The persistent upward push on food prices isn't only affecting buyers in the grocery store. A look at how local food pantries are dealing with it.
And changes to Title IX on campus. New methods for how Kent State plans to investigate the complaints. New policies being implemented.
And two major trials at the forefront of the U.S. Kyle Rittenhouse in Wisconsin and the trial in the death of Ahmad Arbury in Georgia. We have the latest developments.
And a new downtown art exhibit looking to highlight contrast, all in an attempt to bring big city art to Kent. It's an exclusive you'll only see here on TV2 News.
This is TV2 News.
Good evening. Thanks for joining us this Thursday. I'm Troyano.
And I'm Elias. Shingleton. We begin tonight with the persisting issues of food insecurity locally and how ongoing inflation isn't making it any easier for food banks.
That's right. And the uptick in food prices is met with an uptick in demands for those food bank services as many continue to line up at these places for the very first time.
And it's increasingly putting food banks in a pinch with the holiday season right around the corner. Our Kennedy Gotham joins us now. She spoke to one of Northeast Ohio's largest food banks to see what operations have been like for them.
Me is Flash's Fighting Hunger Mobile Food Pantry. They are here working to help distribute food for this holiday season. Inflation is causing issues with food pantries receiving food. I spoke with Akron Canton Food Bank about this.
Especially this holiday season when, we're purchasing turkeys to be able to give to families, holiday hams and those kinds of items.
At Akron Food Bank, the start of the holidays marks some of the busiest days of the year.
We are working really hard to ensure that not only our warehouse shelves are stocked, but then in turn that hunger relief partners within our network have access to a wide variety of food.
However, this holiday season, inflation has made it harder to get products.
With inflation and the increase in costs across the board, we've experienced about a 10 to 15% increase in food purchase prices.
From 2019 to now, there has been a 45% increase in the dollar amount spent on goods. The issue means less option for those lining up at food banks. Holiday staples like instant mashed potatoes and canned fruit.
We can't get a hold of it all,
thanks to inflation. And while food banks are feeling pinched due to the upward shift in prices, they say the real impact is on those in need of food to eat. With the holidays approaching, Akron Food Bank says those they serve are the main concern.
Meals are what bring people together. Meals are what create lasting memories for families. And so right now, when our community is experiencing, a time of need, the food bank will be there.
The food bank says the best way for people to help with this ongoing issue is to donate money. Raven says $1 is equivalent to 4 meals.
If you have the ability to help financially right now, that would probably make the largest.
Flash's Fighting Hunger is celebrating their 10-year anniversary. They have added a new vehicle to help mobilize their efforts to hand out meals for those in need. Reporting from Ravenna, I'm Kennedy Gotham.
Thanks for that report, Kennedy. And that food drive at Ravenna got some help from Kent State. On its 10th year anniversary, the Flash's Fighting Hunger initiative had a bag stuffing party to actually celebrate its 10th year while also preparing for a new food truck of the service. Volunteers from the county and the school came out to put together those meals for Ravenna. That's right. I couldn't agree more, Elias. Now, our weather anchor, Rachel Gross, is out in the field right now to tell us what wild ride we'll be on over the next few days with the weather. Rachel?
That's right, Eli and Shane. The weather has been kind of wacky over the past couple of days, but going forward, it turned out to be a pretty nice day today and might be pretty nice again tomorrow. Currently in Kent, it's about 40 degrees, mostly clear right now. The wind is getting The wind is getting pretty gusty. It's getting up around 18 miles per hour at times, and that is making it feel considerably more cold than it actually is outside right now. And tonight, temperatures will get into the low 30s, and while it may remain clear for most of the night, there will be a chance of snow after 3 a.m. But if there's any accumulation at all, it will be less than half an inch. But it's a different story just a couple miles north of us, as Cuyahoga and Lake counties are under a winter weather advisory from 7 p.m. this evening until noon tomorrow. The National Weather Service is predicting 2 to 5 inches of snow for Cleveland, Mentor, Eastlake, and surrounding areas. The highest snowfall is expected south of Interstate 90, east of 77, and especially east of 271, and it could get to a rate of an inch per hour at times. For us, the snow will turn into a mix of snow and rain tomorrow before noon, and then there's a 40% chance of rain showers until 1. After that, it'll become mostly sunny with a high near 39 degrees and wind at 7 to 11 miles per hour. And now Kent State football is in Akron this weekend for their wagon wheel game against the Zips, and luckily Saturday looks like the best day out of the next several. Perfect for some flashes football. The temperatures will be around 50 degrees and almost 0% chance of precipitation. It will be very cloudy throughout the day and just a little windy. And now after Saturday, there is some snow in our forecast for the next couple days as we head into the holiday. And that's all for me right now, but stay tuned for your full 7-day forecast and what you might be able to see in the skies tonight. I'm Rachel Gross.
Thanks, Rachel. Kent State announced Wednesday it will change their process for Title IX complaints, and our reporter Baylee Sweitzer spoke with the university on what their new process will look like. Hi, Baylee.
Right, Shane. I spoke with the university's Office of Student Conduct, and here is what we can expect with the new hearing process.
Title IX is a federal law that prohibits any form of gender-based discrimination, including things like sexual harassment. Kent State is revising their hearing process for Title IX complaints. Previously, the victim and defendant would have to attend the same hearing to present relevant information and evidence.
If you and I participated in an investigation, investigator got your statement and took notes on your statement, we know what you either witnessed or did not witness. If you didn't show up for the hearing and answer in front of the decision maker, your statement could not be considered. It would not go into their decision to determine if there's any merit because you did not participate in the hearing.
But now neither of them have to attend the hearing if they don't want to.
Now that they're no longer enforcing that very narrow rule, they can look at the investigative report in its entirety. And whether you show up or not, the investigator can still make decisions based on what was gathered in that investigative report.
Neither parties need to attend the hearing now that the findings in the investigative report can be presented without either person.
We can't make people show up. We can't force people to participate. This is a very sensitive situation for people, and it might be difficult to talk about.
Either party can choose to attend the hearing, but unlike before, cannot ask questions to one another and answer instead to a mediator. This change comes as the U.S. Department of Education established new guidance in August.
Since Kent State is a public university, they have to comply with whatever changes the Department of Education makes. This change will go into effect on Monday, November 22nd. For TV2 News, I'm Baylee Sweitzer.
Thank you, Baylee. Now on to new developments at the county's Solid Waste Management District. During a meeting Thursday, commissioners accepting former Director Bill Steiner's resignation. It comes after months of difficulties for the center under Steiner, including a worker shortage, leading to a cut in recycling services for many cities, including Kent. Longtime Deputy Director Don Collins took over for Steiner in September and will remain the acting director for the time being.
We invite people who have suffered a loss to come and join us, to share their stories, hopefully heal, just finding comfort in knowing that there are other people that have gone through something.
The Suicide Prevention Coalition of Portage County is inviting those who have lost someone to suicide to attend their International Survivors of Suicide Loss Day event. The event will allow those affected by suicide to gather for support, information, and empowerment. A documentary about suicide healing will also be screened. The event will take place this Saturday at the Mental Health and Recovery Board of Portage County.
And with Thanksgiving break rapidly approaching, how Kent State is trying to make sure students are traveling safely in regards to COVID-19.
And 2 high-profile trials continue across the country, when we can expect the juries to make their final decisions.
Most generous annual tradition, Giving Tuesday, is here. Golden Flashes are known for giving back, and this month, your generosity goes even further with matching gifts, incentives, and challenges. Join in by supporting the fund that matters most to you. At Kent State, what sets us apart is how we come together.
Put the keys down, Kevin.
But I'm gonna drive home.
There are several warning signs present that you shouldn't be driving.
My text to emoji ratio has gotten a little out of hand.
A little?
Yep, I'm definitely gonna call a ride home.
I adopted Bento in 2010 from a shelter. As it turns out, we have very similar personalities. And this cat makes me make art because he's always motivating me to take pictures of him, to draw pictures of him. He just is motivating artistically. It's just that simple. Well, he's my best friend, but a lot of people know him as Keyboard Cat.
With the holiday season rapidly approaching, Kent State is encouraging students to get tested and is answering questions surrounding the vaccine mandate that is currently in effect.
That's right, our reporter Raygene English is here with us to discuss how Kent State is taking action right before the holiday break in our COVID-19 Minute. Hi, Raygene.
In today's COVID-19 update, Kent State has released a statement about taking advantage of the free testing being offered on campus before going back home for Thanksgiving break to minimize the spread of COVID-19 to friends and family members. Kent State is encouraging all students to take advantage of the free COVID-19 testing on campus before the holidays. No appointment is necessary for testing at the Ice Arena, Eastway, Lounge, the MAC, or Dunbar Hall. The email says to plan your testing with enough advance to get your results before traveling. Yesterday, Kent State officials met virtually about the COVID-19 vaccine mandate and how to handle the vaccine requirements.
In the event, however, that employees fail to cooperate along these lines, including just refusing altogether, that becomes, just like it would in the case of any case of non-compliance, something that needs to be addressed.
The Kent State requirements for COVID-19 will require all students, faculty, and staff to be fully vaccinated. All unvaccinated students in residence hall will be tested twice a week. All other unvaccinated students and unvaccinated employees will be tested once a week. This is because of the approaching cold weather season. All vaccinated individuals should also think about the COVID-19 booster as well to further prevent attracting the virus. That's all I have for you tonight for COVID-19 Minute. Reporting for TV2 News, I am Raygene English. Now back to the desk.
Thank you, Raygene. Now zooming out of Kent to statewide news, the Ohio House of Representatives voted 55-36 in favor of the newest congressional district map introduced by Republican lawmakers. Now this vote comes just a day after a House committee approved the proposal, but this new map will be in effect for only 4 years as this proposal lacks enough Democratic support to last a traditional 10 years.
And a bill banning spoof robocalls in Ohio is now headed to Governor Mike DeWine to be signed. Senate Bill 54 will outlaw telemarketing calls that use spoof numbers that are similar to those of their victims. Callers who violate the new bill can be charged with telecommunications fraud, which is a felony in Ohio punishable by up to 18 months in prison and a $5,000 fine. DeWine has yet to review the bill but is expected to sign it based on his history of supporting similar measures.
In 60 seconds, Top 2 on TV2 takes a look at the two trials that has everyone's attention across the nation, from Wisconsin to Georgia.
Your favorite weekly music show just got even better. We are now online serving all the needs of your favorite music media. You can check out our site for editorials and reviews from our writing staff featuring headline news and stellar illustrations from our design team. In the mood for your favorite artists? Check out links to our past episodes on this new and brilliant site. We are now one click away at KentCoreTV2.com. We are Kent Core. We are music-driven media.
Didn't have the quality of evidence that the state had until the case had been closed. I'm going to be asking the court for a mistrial.
Kyle Rittenhouse's trial continues in Wisconsin. Rittenhouse is charged with killing 2 people and shooting a 3rd during civil unrest last summer in Kenosha. The jury has been deliberating for over 21 hours, but the defense is asking for a mistrial. And Rittenhouse's defense attorneys claim they were unable to see a high-quality video of civilian drone footage. They were only shown a low-quality version. They claim if they had been able to view the higher-quality video, they would have proceeded differently. But the judge has yet to come to a decision on the mistrial plea.
This is a very serious matter, and I don't know what the ultimate truth of it is, but absolutely it would go without much thinking that someone who is following the jury bus, that is that's extremely serious matter.
And MSNBC is now banned from the Rittenhouse courtroom after an incident with the police. A freelance producer was following the jury bus and ran a red light, which they were then pulled over by police for. An NBC spokesperson said he is a freelancer who was never instructed to contact the jury, and they will cooperate fully with authorities. The judge has ruled that no one from MSNBC will be allowed in the courtroom for the duration of the investigation. And switching gears to Georgia for the high-profile trial of the men accused of killing Ahmad Arbury last February. The prosecution opened today's testimony with a cross-examination of defendant Travis McMichael. The prosecutor recounted the steps leading up to McMichael's alleged killing of Arbury, challenging the argument that the shooting was in self-defense. McMichael and the other 2 men accused in the case continued to maintain their innocence.
Didn't threaten you in any way?
No.
Didn't verbally threaten you?
Not
like
verbally.
Yell at you?
Not verbally, no.
Didn't pull out a gun?
He did not pull out a gun.
All right, we are so sorry for those technical difficulties, but we will have a weather update that you have been waiting for later on in the show. But let's keep with some winter news because we are on the winter season coming up very shortly. The ice skating rink in Kent is just about ready to be open. Find out when you can lace up your skates and hit that ice.
It's a big responsibility.
Oh, it's huge. I know, it's huge.
And the salary.
Oh my God, yes. I mean,
Right.
like, I was about to move in with my parents, and right before, so this saved me.
I really believe in you, you know.
Thank you. It's nice to hear that from someone.
These are cool. Did you, what did
And now, your TV2 Sports Report.
Good evening, Portage County. My name is Liv Sharp, and let's get into some Kent State women's basketball. The Kent State women's basketball team took on John Carroll this morning for Kids Day, where over 800 elementary school kids packed the MAC. Among those were students of senior guard Hannah Young. The Flashes had a dominant performance, winning 101-40. Today marked the first time since 2000 that the women's team scored over 100 points. Casey Santoro led the way offensively with a career-high 19 points. Coach Starkey also celebrated his 250th career win. We check in with his thoughts after the game.
Talked about not wanting to practice any bad habits today. Thought we did a good job of staying focused throughout, and everybody that went in did a pretty good job of what they needed to do. Great ball movement. I think 23 assists on 10 turnovers was really good for us as well. Really shared the ball. So thank you to our local elementary school systems for participating.
We now shift over to some NBA highlights with Kevin Durant and the Nets taking on your Cleveland Cavaliers at home. We pick things up in the second quarter with James Johnson forcing a turnover and heading down the court, lobbing it to LaMarcus Aldridge, who throws it down. Nets lead 29-45. Cavs are down big headed into the third, but we have Dean Wade stealing the ball and tossing it to Kevin Love fresh off the bench, who sends it to Isaac Okoro, who slams it in for two. The score is now 59-73. Later in the third, we have Ricky Rubio, or as I like to call him, my savior in fantasy basketball, shooting a clutch three-pointer to cut the deficit to single digits. Glad to have him here in Cleveland. To start the fourth, we have D. Wade. Nope, not that D. Wade. We have Cleveland's own Dean Wade, who comes up with a steal and takes a quick trip down the court to bag two for the CLE. And James Johnson, he just cannot find his way in the basket, and Aldridge fights for that offensive rebound, then puts it back up and in for the Nets. But it's James Harden tossing it over to Aldridge, who guides the ball in for Brooklyn, and that ends the Cavs' night. Cleveland goes on to lose 109-99, but returns home tonight to take on Steph Curry and the Golden State Warriors in a 2017 Finals rematch at 7:30. Tomorrow morning officially marks the beginning of the Guardians era in Cleveland. Starting at 9 a.m., the Progressive Field will begin selling Guardians merchandise. For those of you who aren't heading down to the corner of Carnegie in Ontario, you'll be able to get your new jerseys on Tuesday when they are released online. That's all I have for sports today. Be sure to follow our Twitter at TV2KSU Sports for all sports-related updates within the area. From TV2 Sports, I'm Olivia Sharp, and let's get back to the desk.
From conceptual art to downtown Kent, the exhibit and the team behind it after this short break.
Hayden, I can't speak. Who's gonna do the commercial if I can't speak?
I mean, I think the obvious decision is that I'm going to be the voice. I am, an ex-theater major.
Whatever, an ex-theater major. I am a theater major.
I have a theater performance minor. Mine is just as important.
I bring the entertainment to this show, so go ahead.
Obviously, it should be me, because ain't nobody as fierce as I am.
Oh, no. It should be me, because I'm a freshman. And obviously, freshmen are more important, right?
No, it should be us, because we're the oldest. Exactly. And we have Andy Joe. Hello.
Everybody wait. The only voice that should end this commercial is the College Voice, Fridays at 2 p.m. Now say it with me.
Watch the College Voice on Fridays at 2 p.m.
Welcome back. Let's take a look at your weekend weather here. Like I said, Friday and Saturday of this week are going to be looking really nice out here. 47 degrees on Saturday, like I said. Really nice weather for that Kent State-Akron football game. But as we head into Sunday and Monday, unfortunately, the rain, snow mix is going to come back and going to get a lot colder too. Like I said yesterday, 60 degrees was yesterday, and then we're going to get into the beginning parts of next week, and it's going to be in your low 30s. As you can see, that snow is coming back Monday, Tuesday, but then as we get into Wednesday and Thursday of next week, temperatures are going to go back into the low 40s. Sun might come and peek out from behind those clouds, but unfortunately Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, those are going to be your big days to see rain and snow over this next week. And now also, there's going to be a partial lunar eclipse tonight. 97% of the moon is going to be dark. Going to be the longest partial lunar eclipse, and it will last for a total of 6 hours. The best time to look at the moon is going to be 4 a.m. Now back to you, Shane.
Thank you for that, Rachel. Fun facts of the day. I love a good lunar eclipse. But there is a new mission downtown to bring back city art to a smaller area like Kent. And it's exactly what Business Tropist Projects is doing right now with its new Idea Chains conceptual art exhibit.
TV2's own Chris Abreu can tell you more on the exhibition.
The Idea Chains conceptual art exhibition opened up in downtown Kent on Friday, November 5th. Part of the mission, bringing art to a small town.
I think it should be in our communities. I think it should be in our day-to-day experience. I think it should be in our schools, in our workplaces, and certainly in our homes.
The building located on South Water Street is currently being used by Tropist Projects to put on the show with two artists contrasting work.
My work is based in an investigation of color.
Most of my artwork is made in ceramic.
Putting together like systems and organizations of thinking with regard to shapes and color and their relationships.
I work in other materials. I work in steel. I work in wood, a little bit with glass.
So that there's contrast in the work.
Idea Chains will continue to run through the entirety of November. It took some effort from the artists in order to piece the work together.
Giving the work enough room to stand on its own and have its own presence to interact with it or view it in the best way possible.
The name Idea Chains comes from famous artist Solowitz's ideas on conceptual art published in 1969. The curators would say it fits their work as well.
Because both Seth and I approach our work methodically and thoughtfully, so like idea and then chains, more about like control.
Dietrich says artists want to show their work now more than ever.
Because I think people have been eager to get work out of their studios. People have been making new work, and that's what the shows are presenting, which I think is really exciting.
Reporting in downtown Kent, I'm Chris Abreu.
This Thursday edition, I'm Shane Troyano.
I'm Elias. Shingleton. Have a great night, Portage County.
Eat shouldn't be one of them. Through a nationwide network of food banks, Feeding America serves virtually every community in the United States. See how you can help your community. Visit feedingamerica.org.
See on page 4 that the projections need to be blood. Next Thursday?
Seriously? Thursday? Can't do that.
This is really inconvenient.
I have yoga that day. I have no time for this. So.
I can't do Thursday, but I can do Friday.
Disasters don't plan ahead. You can. Talk to your loved ones about how you're going to be ready in an emergency.